All right, bang, the kid returns again, but this time he's sick, so he probably sounds funny. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 25 UFC light heavyweights. Again, I would say if I sound a little bit weird or my voice is annoying to you, I'm so sorry. I'm sick right now, but I wanted to get a video out anyways, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into this thing. Starting at number 25, I got Rodolfo Bellato. He just fought to a draw against Jimmy Crute, who we'll talk about in a second. And the reason Jimmy Crute is going to be higher than him on this list is because the only reason that fight ended in a draw is because Jimmy Crute beat the shit out of him so badly in the first round, but was unable to put him away that he gassed out. And Bellato was able to go in and win rounds 2 and 3. He didn't look good at all in that first round. I mean, just actually got the life beat out of him by Jimmy Crute there in round 1. Dropped multiple times. I want to say it was almost submitted too. Like, Jimmy Crute just, put it on him. But he ended up gassing himself out in the process, so they fought to a draw. So that's going to be, Bellato's going to be down here at number 25. Moving on to number 24, I have the Hulk, Ion Cutelaba. Just picked up a win over Ibo Aslan, which isn't a great win, to be completely honest, but I got Ion on this list. He's very exciting, very fun striker. Just showed us that he can grapple a little bit now. He's a little bit improved from his last time out, which I believe was against Felipe Lins, who we'll also talk about in just a little bit. But yeah, so Ion is going to find himself at number 24 on this list. And now we'll move on to number 23, Jimmy Crute. Like I said, he just fought to a draw against Rodolfo Bellato. Was on a little bit, I believe, of a losing streak before this Bellato fight. Came in after a little bit of a layoff and really, truly looked like Jimmy Crute 2.0 in the first round. A lot of people were saying that this was going to be like the new version of Jimmy Crute. And he looked great in that first round, beat the shit out of Rodolfo Bellato. Ultimately gassed himself out, looking for the finish there in round 1, but honestly, I thought he looked really good in that fight, so I'm not going to hold it against him. Bellato, obviously a hard guy to put out, so all things considered, I think Jimmy Crute looked very good in that fight. Of course, like I just said a few times, he did gas out, but I think at a normal pace in a normal fight, I don't think he gasses out in that fight, and I think he ends up picking up the W. So he's going to find himself at number 23. Moving on to number 22, we have Felipe Lins. Last time out, got a big win over Ion Cutelaba. I don't remember. I want to say it was a split decision, but I'm not sure. It's been a minute now, so yeah. He looked solid in that fight. Obviously, Ion Cutelaba is not the best fighter in the world, which neither is Felipe Lins, but he did look solid in that fight and picked up the W. So he's going to find himself here at number 22 on the list. Now moving on to number 21, we're going to have Vitor Petrino. Now, if I would have made this list a year ago, Petrino would have been in that like 15 to like 12 range, as he was looking really good. He was rapidly improving. Striking looked great. And then for some reason at UFC 301, he got matched up with Anthony Smith, and just for whatever reason, he decided to shoot himself into a guillotine, pick Anthony Smith up, allow him to lock up his guard, and then slam him down and push himself deeper into the guillotine, and they tapped. And that was his first loss of his career. I have absolutely no idea what he was thinking. One of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in the octagon, to be completely honest. And then just recently had that loss to Dustin Jacoby, where basically they replayed the Usman Masvidal knockout. Jacoby stepped in with a jab, and then a 2 behind it, and Petrino tried to counter with a check left hook and just got slumped. So yeah, Petrino's going to find himself down here at number 21. And so now we're going to move on into the top 20. I have Modestas Bukauskas. He's a really good fighter. Just picked up a win over Rafael Cerqueira, who's not a great fighter, but Bukauskas is very clean. Also just got a win over Marcin Prachnio, I think, at UFC 304. Looked good in that fight. Obviously, the power of Marcin Prachnio, just the kind of wild man style, there's always danger there. And he got hit with like the craziest high kick, like way inside. Like Prachnio was like, they were like 2 feet away from each other, and Prachnio threw up that head kick, and rocked Modestas Bukauskas pretty bad. But he ended up, I believe, submitting Marcin Prachnio there in the third round. But it was a very fun back and forth fight. Modestas Bukauskas, he's pretty entertaining, great striker, got a good ground game. So he's going to find himself number 20 here. Moving on, at number 19, we have Omar Sy. Sorry. Sy's very good. Little French guy. Well, not little, but French guy. They're building that market over there. Undefeated in the UFC. He's looked pretty good in most of his fights. Sorry, guys. Anyways, okay. Yeah, Omar Sy. He's got solid striking. It's just solid. Has a very good ground game. He's looked pretty good in his UFC fights. I believe I think he's had 2 or 3 wins in the UFC now. And he's booked against Alonzo Menifield. Let me see if there's a date on that. Let me go look. Yeah, he's booked to fight Alonzo Menifield in June. That should be a pretty fun fight. I'm excited to watch that one. But anyways, we're going to move on here to the old head of the light heavyweight division. We have Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is on his way out. He will probably retire after his next fight if I were to guess. But I do still think that he is crafty and he is solid enough to go out and pick up wins over some of the guys below him. But yeah, he's fighting Zhang Mingyang next, and he's probably going to get brutally KO'd. He looked terrible in his Reyes fight, which I know there was some kind of outside of fighting things going on in his life. I believe like maybe he lost it, like one of his coaches passed away or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, he looked horrendous in that fight. Just curled up on a ball and let Reyes beat the shit out of him. And then ultimately got finished, I believe, in the second round. Did not look good in that fight in any way, shape, or form. Before that, he got pretty well beat up by Roman Dolidze. So yeah, we're going to see the end of Lionheart here soon. And I would say it's probably going to be that fight on April 26th against Zhang Mingyang. I believe Zhang Mingyang's probably going to put his lights out, and that will be the last time we ever hear from Anthony Smith. So, all right. Next, number 17, we have Dustin Jacoby. Coming off of a big win over Vitor Petrino. Beautiful knockout. Dustin Jacoby's really good. He's a former Glory kickboxer. I'm pretty sure he got stopped by Dominic Reyes last summer, but didn't look terrible in that fight. Before that, he lost to Alonzo Menifield, lost to Azamat Mirzakhanov, and Khalil Roundtree. I think those are his losses. But yeah, just got a win over Vitor Petrino where he looked very good in that fight. Got a win over Kennedy Nzechukwu, who we'll talk about tomorrow in the heavyweight video. So yeah, Dustin's going to find himself right here at number 17. So now moving on to number 16, we have Alonzo Menifield. We just talked about he's got the win over Dustin Jacoby. He's a little bit older, so he might be similarly on his way out. Just got a win over Julius Walker a few weeks, about a month ago now. I think it was at UFC Seattle. But before that, got stopped in the first 10 seconds by Carlos Ulberg. He kind of just ran at him like a moron and got punched in the face and knocked out. But before that, he was on a decent win streak. Got wins over Jimmy Crute, Dustin Jacoby, Misha Serkinov. He didn't look bad in those few fights. He's 1-2 in his last 3 now though. But two against pretty good competition, and then one against that Julius Walker win he just got. Now he's matched up to fight Omar Sy, or I think it might be pronounced C actually. I can't remember. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. That will definitely affect these rankings. We'll figure it out when it gets there. But yeah, so he's going to find himself at number 16. So now we're going to move on into the top 15. We have Johnny Walker, the goofball himself. The chin's gone on Johnny Walker as if it was ever there. It's definitely gone now. He got brutally KO'd by Volkan Ozdemir. Before that, got brutally KO'd by Magomed Ankalaev. And then the draw the no contest with Ankh before that. Yeah, he was booked to fight Bogdan Gushkov, and I think Bogdan Gushkov would have probably put his lights out as well. I just don't think Johnny Walker... he's a great athlete. He's very explosive, and he's very fun to watch. His chin is just... it's more than missing. I might as well just cover it up, to be honest. Like, might as well just be gone. His chin is absolutely cooked, so he's going to be at number 15 down here. Now moving on to number 14, we have Azamat Murzakanov. Azamat's not bad. He's pretty solid. He's undefeated in the UFC. He's got wins over like Dustin Jacoby and Alonzo Menafield. He's booked to fight. He's booked to fight Johnny Walker. I personally think that he'll beat Johnny Walker. He's a pretty exciting striker, which is weird for somebody who just looks so old. He's only 35, but he looks like he's 45. He just kind of has that build to him. But yeah, he's solid. He's going to look good. I think he's going to beat Johnny Walker, and that may even boost him up these rankings a little bit more. We'll see how good he looks in that fight. But yeah, he's going to be at number 14 for now. Moving on to number 13, we have Bogdan Guskov. Did not look good in round 1 against Billy Alicana. Got taken down. His biggest issue is the grappling, which is pretty much the issue for everybody at middleweight or at light heavyweight here. There's not very many grapplers, which is why I believe Alex Pereira was at the top for so long. But yeah, got taken down, almost submitted by Billy Alicana, who was a middleweight on short notice in that fight. And then Guskov ended up coming back and I believe finished him on the feet. So he's got insane power, shuts a lot of people's lights out, and he looks good on the feet. Just really has to show up that grappling, because it's really not good. So yeah, he's going to be at number 13 here. Number 12, we have Zhang Ming Yang. He's looked really good in the UFC so far. I think he came in with a win over Brinson Ribeiro, I believe. He knocked him out, I'm pretty sure, in the first round. And then also has that win, as you can see on the screen, over Ozzy Diaz, who just got another win. So, yeah, he's 2-0 in the UFC, both by KOs. He's looked really good. He's scheduled to fight Anthony Smith next, and I believe he will probably do the same thing to Anthony Smith and continue climbing these rankings. He'll be ranked after that fight, and I believe he'll probably get a top 10 or kind of in that area matchup, and he probably will win that as well. But we'll just have to see how it goes. I would have him a lot higher, just haven't seen as much from him, but he's looked fantastic. So anyways, moving on to number 11, we have Dominic Reyes. Had that little 3-fight skid after John Jones, or 4-fight skid, wasn't it, with John Jones, where he lost to John Jones, and then he lost for the vacant title against Blachowicz, and then got spinning elbowed by Yuri Prochazka, and then also lost to, who was it, Ryan Spann, I believe, got jab KO'd by Ryan Spann. And then since then, he's picked up 2 wins in a row. Over Dustin Jacoby by finish, and then also finished Anthony Smith. Very excited for the Dominic Reyes title run. He's back. Let me see if he's got a fight booked right now. I think I've heard something about him having a fight booked, but I'm not sure. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he's got a fight coming up against Nikita Krylov on UFC 314. That's what I thought. I don't know if he'll. I actually don't know if he'll win that fight, but I guess we'll see. He's looked good in those last 2 wins. Obviously, Anthony Smith wasn't even trying, and then he put Dustin Jacoby out really early in that fight. So, yeah, he's looked great, but we'll see. The chin looks refreshed, but he hasn't really taken too many hard shots yet. We'll see. I don't think Nikita Krylov's going to be the guy to put him out cold, but I guess we'll find out when we get there, right? So anyways, moving on to the top 10, we have Volkan Oezdemir. On a little bit of resurgence and then lost to Carlos Oberg, but before that he picked up a nice win over Johnny Walker, where he put his lights out cold against the fence and then hit him again on the ground, and Johnny Walker kind of like flopped, like how he does, I don't even know. But before then, he submitted Bogdan Guskov, lost to Nikita Krylov in 2022. That's how inactive I think Nikita Krylov has been. I think that's his last fight. I'm not sure. He might have had 1 or 2 since then. But yeah, so he's 2-2 in his last 4, but those are to 2 fighters who are very good, and he's got wins over 2 other ranked guys. So Volkan Oezdemir is going to find himself right here at number 10. Moving on up the list to number 9, we have Nikita Krylov. This guy, I don't know where he's been. Got the fight booked finally against against Dominic Reyes. Also was booked to fight Azamat Murzakanov on the Jones and Stipe card. I believe that was 309. I can't remember already. But yeah, so he's been solid in the UFC. He's 11-7, but he's on a decent win streak right now. Got submitted by Paul Craig and lost to Magomed Ankalaev. Like, if you look at his losses, like, they're all really good losses. Like, well, Paul Craig's not a great loss, but it's an understandable one because Paul Craig just randomly submits everyone. But yeah, he's got a loss to Magomed, got a loss to Glover, got a loss to Jan Blachowicz, and then before that he lost to a few other guys earlier on in his career. But in recent memory, like, his only 4 losses are to 3 former champions. Yeah, to 3 champions, and then Paul Craig, who's also submitted like 3 other champions. So yeah, Nikita Krylov is going to find himself right here at number 9 on the list. Moving on now to Alexander Rakic. Rakic probably has the best, well, maybe behind Pereira, but probably has the best technical striking on the list. He just has absolutely no power behind it. And it's weird because he's so big, but he looks so good. Like, in his Yuri fight, he looked fantastic in the first round. And I think into the second round before he got caught and finished. But he's got great low kicks. He's got great technical striking. His defense is solid. It's not the best, but it's solid. And he has decent wrestling. His just problem is, like, he's got great technique, but he doesn't have, like, what I would like how I would describe it. Like, he doesn't have, like, the fighting spirit, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really impose his will. He doesn't push a pace on you. He doesn't do anything special. He just has good technique, but he's not throwing that technique with, like, heavy power. Like, they're not big bombs coming your way, like if you were fighting Yuri or something like that. They're just really crisp strikes coming your way. So he's going to be at number 8. At number 7, we have Khalil Rountree. Looked great in his fight against Alex Pereira before gassing out at elevation and getting stopped in round 4. But won rounds 1 and 2 off of Pereira. I think he looked good at the start of round 3, and then Pereira started piecing him, kind of picking him apart there towards the end. But looked good in rounds 1 and 2. He's really good, honestly. He's really fast, got great Muay Thai striking. His kicks are fantastic. Obviously, we know his hands are very powerful. Actually, he dropped Alex Pereira with a high kick, but it was more of like an off-balance kind of thing. Before that, he put Chris Dawkins' lights out, put Anthony Smith away, got a win over Dustin Jacoby, got a win over Modestas Bukauskas by that big knee stomp, which is one of the most disgusting-looking things I've ever seen. He started his career, like, not very good, to be honest, like, kind of going back and forth, but then he went on a little win streak, got that title shot. Now he's booked to fight Jamal Hill at UFC Kansas City, and I think that's going to be a very fun fight. And I really, truthfully, I'm not sure who's going to pick up the win there. So yeah, he's going to be at number 7 here. Number 6, we have Jan Blachowicz. And maybe this is too high for him which, I don't know. He didn't look too bad in this fight, but he's old. You can just tell. If you look at his hair, like, this doesn't even look like Jan anymore. He's balding intensely. Just looked really old in there against Carlos Ulberg compared to what he usually does. Didn't have the pop on his shots anymore. Didn't have the reaction time. And Carlos Ulberg, he's going to be up here on the list, but he really did not look great in that fight. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. But Carlos Ulberg is very good, but he didn't look like a world beater, or a future champion in that fight. He just looked solid, looked like an average top 5 kind of fighter, and Jan Blachowicz was just old and slow in there. And a lot of people are saying he got robbed. I personally disagree. I thought Carlos Ulberg won round 2 and 3. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. We're moving on to number 5. We have Jamal Hill, former champion, booked to fight Khalil Rountree. And like I said earlier, I honestly don't know who's going to win that fight. He did not look very good against Yuri in their last fight. He didn't look bad per se, but he just got hit by that crazy Yuri power and got stopped in round 3. Got dropped in round 1 as well, came back, won round 2, and then ended up getting finished in round 3. But that's something you just kind of have to deal with when you're in there with Yuri. It's like, you can't be like, oh, I got knocked out by Yuri. Yeah, Yuri knocks everybody out except for Alex Pereira. It's like, Yuri's just kind of that randomly powerful guy. Like, every shot he throws at you could literally just kill you, pretty much. So, can't hold it against Jamal Hill too much that he lost to Yuri. But he looks pretty slow in that fight, and he didn't look good in his fight against Alex Pereira. He was saying he was going blow for blow with him. No, he wasn't. He was getting outstruck and then got KO'd. So he's going to drop down the list pretty significantly here. Going to find himself at number 5. So moving on to number 4, we got Carlos Ulberg. We just kind of talked about him. Didn't look fantastic in that fight against Jan Blachowicz. Looked good. Of course, he got the win. But he wasn't, like I said, he didn't look like a world beater. Didn't look like a future champion, to be honest. He's fast and explosive, though. And he can definitely pick up a few good wins in this division. So moving on now to number 3, we have Yuri Prochazka, probably my favorite fighter at light heavyweight right now. He's really good, really explosive, really powerful. We talked about, like I just said a minute ago, any shot he throws at you can kill you. So yeah, he's going to find himself at number 3. Like I said, had a great title run. Well, not like title run, like his run to the belt was great. And then submitted Glover, was super exciting, tore his shoulder to pieces, and then he just ran into Alex Pereira. So not much you can say other than that. He's looked good against everybody else, and then he's looked good against everybody else and just gets knocked out by Alex Pereira. I think he just one of those things where he just kind of has his number. So he's going to be at number 3 here. Moving on to number 2, we have that man, Alex Poatan Pereira. Just lost his belt to Magomed Ankalaev and did not look good in that fight, to be completely honest. I think, honestly, that Alex Pereira might be starting to feel the age a little bit. I don't know how old he is. I want to say he's 37, 38 maybe. But in his last 2 fights, he's just looked slower than usual. Looked less explosive and less powerful. He looked great in round 4 against Khalil Roundtree, and he looked good. He just looked gun-shy in there against Ankalaev, which I'm pretty sure you've heard everybody say. Looked gun-shy, was not letting his hands go, was just trying to bank on the calf kicks, and that's just not going to be enough in a world title fight to win a fight. So he ended up losing his belt to number 1, Magomed Ankalaev. You can say what you want about him being boring and just holding Pereira up against the fence, but I've seen a boring fighter go in there against an entertaining fighter, and the fight was entertaining. It takes 2 to make a fight boring. If one guy's going to hold a guy against the fence, the other guy has to try to get off the fence, and if he's not trying to get off the fence, it's going to be a boring fight. So I thought Ankalaev looked great in that fight. Hurt Pereira really bad in round 2. Probably lost round 1 just off of activity. There wasn't really much going on there. And then rocked him at the end of round 2. Round 3 was kind of the close one, the deciding one. I thought Ankalaev won it. And then round 4, he kind of smudged Pereira against the cage. And then round 5, I believe Pereira won that one with kind of activity. Kind of the same thing, activity, volume. So Ank ended up getting his hand raised and becoming the new champion. And for that reason, and actually before that fight, he would have been number 1 on my list. So there you have it. There is my list for the top 25 UFC light heavyweights. I'm sorry the video is a little bit shorter. Like I said, I'm sick. So like all these like random pauses in the video or me like wiping my nose, stuff like that. So yeah, again, I'm sorry this is not the highest quality video, but I had to get one out. So hope you guys enjoyed anyways. I would appreciate if you guys drop a like on the video, maybe subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys think I missed anybody or you have the order switched at all. Would love to talk about it with you guys down in the comments. Again, I appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.